What if I told you that Starbucks isn't the biggest coffee chain in China? That title belongs to Luckin Coffee, a brand that seemingly came out of nowhere, expanded at lightning speed, and even survived a massive fraud scandal. But how did a startup that didn't even exist before 2017 beat a coffee giant like Starbucks? And more importantly, will Luckin's rapid growth actually last? Let's break it down. Luckin Coffee was founded in 2017 by Chinese entrepreneur Jenny Qian, a former COO of UCAR, a Chinese ride-hailing company. From day one, the goal was clear: dominate China's coffee market by doing things differently. At the time, Starbucks was the undisputed king of coffee in China. But there was one problem, and if you have relatives in China, they'll know. Its coffee was very expensive, and its stores were designed for socializing, not convenience. Luckin saw this as an opportunity and launched a radically different model. They focused on mobile ordering, smaller stores, aggressive discounts, and rapid expansion. And within 2 years, they had already opened more stores than Starbucks in China. One of the biggest reasons for Luckin's success, they went all in on digital. And I'm going to give you 5 key reasons as to why Luckin Coffee has really dominated Starbucks in China. But the all-in digital focus and app-based delivery was one of the hallmarks of Luckin's success. No cash, no baristas writing your name on cups. You order on the app, pay digitally, and pick up your drink from a nearby store. You can even have it delivered to your home or office. This digital-first approach gave Luckin Coffee a huge edge, especially in China, where mobile payments like WeChat Pay and Alipay are the norm. Starbucks tried to copy the strategy, but by then, Luckin was already ahead. And given China's tech growth and tech boom, it seemed like many consumers were already very digitally savvy, so this approach was very successful. And second, Luckin's smaller, cheaper stores are much more efficient than Starbucks. Starbucks has a different approach. Their approach to coffee is more relaxing in the stores, good locations, great coffee, but not really designed for lots of orders. And Luckin's places aren't really designed for hangouts. They're fast and efficient, designed for business professionals who just wanted to grab a coffee and go. And this allowed Luckin to expand much faster and at a lower cost than Starbucks, because a Starbucks location requires a lot of capital expenditures, probably a nice atmosphere location, whereas Luckin could be your local convenience store type of size, so much easier to expand compared to Starbucks. By 2023, Luckin had over 10,000 stores, while Starbucks in China had over 6,500. That's an insane growth rate. Also, Luckin focuses on price, because price is a very important component of coffee, because coffee is very elastic. There's many competitors in the coffee industry, and even tea is a competition to coffee. Starbucks really struggled when it came to Luckin. While a Starbucks latte in China can cost about 30 to 40 yuan, 4 to 6 USD, Luckin is about half the price. And on top of that, they ran insane promotions designed for aggressive growth. Buy one, get one free, free drinks for first-time users, and constant discounts kept customers coming back. This pricing war forced Starbucks to respond, leading them to introduce their own cheaper drinks and more promotions. But by then, Luckin had already gained millions of loyal customers. And this is a turning point for Starbucks, because traditionally, Starbucks was known as one of the premier successful coffee chains and brands. But in recent quarters and in the past few years, they've really struggled with their pricing model, and many consumers, not just in China, but in US and Canada, are really turning to different alternatives and competitors. Luckin is also successful because Not only did they compete on price, but they actually created innovative flavors. And these are flavors that Chinese consumers actually wanted. When you look at Starbucks, they were unique and innovative maybe years ago, but I feel that at times they simply just run the same promotions, the same flavors, the pumpkin spice, the gingerbread latte. They haven't really innovated or really been creative in the last little bit. For example, Luckin launched the cheese latte, which might sound weird, but it became a huge hit. They also have coconut lattes and tea-based coffees, things that you might not necessarily see at Starbucks, but they were a hit with the customers. Think about bubble tea. I often see people put cheese foam on their bubble tea, and now Luckin might have adopted these flavors and made it that it was familiar for customers that they want to try, but they were also familiar but innovative as well. Their best seller, which is the coconut latte, sold 100 million cups in just 1 year. That's more than Starbucks pumpkin spice latte in the US. And finally, Luckin's rapid expansion really was propelled by its franchise model. Luckin grew so fast that many people actually questioned how they could afford it. As it turns out, they couldn't. In 2020, Luckin was caught faking over 300 million in sales, leading to delisting from the US stock exchange, and many people thought this was the end. However, they survived. After restructuring, they shifted to a franchise model, meaning that they let independent owners open stores instead of funding everything themselves. This allowed them to keep growing while reducing risk. And this is kind of similar to how Michelin ice cream and tea grew. If you want to learn more about how Michelin became one of the biggest franchises in the world, you might want to watch this video that I posted and talked about. And guess what? By 2023, Luckin was actually profitable, proving that their franchise model could work even after a massive scandal. So how did Luckin Coffee beat Starbucks in China? There are 5 key reasons. A mobile-first strategy that made ordering effortless, smaller, more efficient stores that scaled up quickly, aggressive discounts that made them the cheapest option, localized drinks that appealed to Chinese tastes, and a fast-growing franchise model that fueled expansion. But the big question is, can Luckin Coffee maintain its dominance not just in China, but in the US? Or will Starbucks fight back with new strategies and promotions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thank you for watching this video on Luckin Coffee and its significant growth in China. Stay tuned for my next video on business news, insights, and analysis from Biz1.